Hey, it's Silver Dollar back with a little how-to tutorial video on the Lair of Shaitan. So this dungeon came out, I think it's a few months ago now, but it didn't get a whole lot of play at the beginning because you had to buy the key and there was no event that dropped it. But I think with the mystery box event in June, a lot of people seem to be picking up the key. So I got a chance to run, quite a bit more of them. But I found that a lot of people, aren't that comfortable with the dungeon and, don't really know where to go and stuff. So I thought I'd put this, little video together just to sort of run by some of the mechanics of the dungeon. So this is actually a good group size to sort of show you the dungeon. The cap on the dungeon's 8 people, but if you get a bunch of people all going in at the same time, you can completely blow the cap. Doesn't really matter. They made this dungeon so it can't be soloed, and I think it's one of the few dungeons in the game. Because even Shatters, if you have enough time, you can solo that, and people have already done I think a couple of videos on that. But yeah, with Shaitan, just because of the damage output required, you can't solo it. Now, basically, you want a good mix of characters in there. So if you can get a Pally and Warrior for the buffs, that's pretty good. Melee classes are really handy because you will be taking quite a bit of damage. And if you can have a Priest in there, that's also pretty good. And maybe some Doom Bows or something to knock off these minions quickly. Buff Doom Bow, you can get through this thing pretty quick. So yeah, when you first start out, you got to kill these 2 large hands. And once you kill the hands, they go into this phase here where they come out and drop those blue quiet shots. So you want to run to the front of the dungeon so the blue shots get to the front, and then you can back up quick. Then you run forward again, and as soon as the hands finish that blue quiet phase, that's when the boss is vulnerable. So you'll see a lot of people kind of miss out on that damage phase because they don't run to the front quickly. And then soon after the boss is vulnerable, he'll fire out anywhere from 1 to 4 of those heads, depending how far along you are in the dungeon. So when he says that consumed by flames, that means he's on his last stage. And that's where he shoots out 4 of those little, the smaller versions of him, of his head. And then, yeah, okay, here we got the treasure. The only good thing in here is the UT skull, but it's pretty pretty rare for sure. Thanks, Ducket, for all these Shaitans, by the way. All right, so here's another one. This one, I think I toss on, a little timer, just to sort of give you an idea of how long they take. This one, though, we got a lot more people in it, so it's definitely going to go a bit quicker. But yeah, everyone usually start on the left. You take out the first hand. And then as soon as that's done, you want to scoot over to the right and kill the other hand. There we go. Basically, okay, now he's vulnerable. And he'll go once, he always starts on one side, then he goes over to the middle vulnerable. And if you get enough damage in him, then you'll kick him over again to this quiet phase. Now you got to be careful because that's where he throws out the heads and also a little bit of lava pool. So you don't want to get stuck standing in one position and be taking a lot of lava damage. So yeah, there's the miniature heads. I think we're on 2 or 3 at the moment. They do a decent amount of damage as well. Pretty much everything in the dungeon, except for the really small hands, does a considerable amount of damage. So especially the large purple balls and the large white ones you want to avoid. And you definitely don't want to be stuck standing on top of one of those little heads there. So that's where the paralyzed hands can kind of get you. So once you kill, you got to, every time those hands are vulnerable, you got to shoot them, kill the hands, because if you don't do it fast enough, it actually kind of resets. So that's why you need a decent sized group to do it. Otherwise you get stuck in that sort of infinite loop. So yeah, he's vulnerable again. We just pushed him to that final phase. So he threw out, there's 3 of the mini heads. I think there's 1 on the other side as well. And then, ouch, yeah. I like going in kind of deep to get the damage, but it helps if you're on Pally or Warrior. So in that one, everyone was pretty good, but the key thing is just making sure you get a group that runs up to the front when he's vulnerable, or at least knows when he goes vulnerable. Otherwise, you can be stuck in here for quite a long time. Okay, so here's one last Shaitan. Hey Dennis, what's up? Alright, so one last little run here. I'll do a little summary. So go up to the left hand side. The hands shoot those larger white sized balls. When you kill them, it'll push it over into the next phase where the main head shoots out those smaller versions of the head, and the hands start doing the yellow paralyzed thing. As soon as you can do enough damage on the hands, they'll switch over to do the quiet phase, and that signals that the boss will soon be vulnerable. So then you'll jump onto one side there, where you can shoot him, goes to the middle, so you can shoot him again. And if you do it fast enough, he won't go over to the left side. Now, then it just repeats again. So you kill the hands, pushes into the quiet phase, vulnerable again, goes to the middle. I don't think we'll get enough damage here, so we might go to the left side. Yep. So left side, and then shoots out the heads again. I think a few more heads this time. So then, we killed the hands, and you just kind of rinse and repeat, basically. We're getting a little sloppy here where we weren't getting a lot of damage on them, but that's basically the key, though. Just, keep the group tight and get everyone getting to the front to get the damage, or if they're ranged, just make sure they're actually shooting them. And, you can push through it pretty fast. There we go. The Mad God shall know of these transgressions. Yes, you're so true. You can also get the cloths in here, and they're not bad. Tons of dies lately, so that's all good. I'll do another video of this, but it'll be like speedrun, so it'll be sort of the largest group I think I did them on, and the fastest amount of time. So stay tuned for those. SLVRDLLR.